Hi everyone! Hello! Welcome to the show. This is Gwen. Yes. And unbelievably, it is 2021. And this is the first show, the live show of 2021. So I'm quite excited who's going to be here at the live show tonight. Well, today is January 22nd. It's the Friday. And actually, the whole Seoul city is doing social distancing. So there's a strict policy that we cannot be outside at the restaurants or cafes after 9 p.m. So around this time, the roads are quite, used to be very busy, but now it's quite quiet. And I work near Gangnam Station, and Gangnam style of Psy is a very busy area. So it has to be really crowded on Friday nights, but these days it's quite empty. So that's a sad thing, but still, because of that, I hope that more people could come into the live show tonight. Okay, so I'm waiting for some people to talk. So guys, if you have joined this live show before, now try to be a little bit more courageous and try to type some words or say hi to me or ask any questions or try to participate and share your answers with us, okay? Because we are going to be covering some TOEIC speaking questions today, okay? All right, so I know that there are some people who's getting ready for the test tomorrow, which is Saturday in Korea, and also on Sunday. So those of you who are going to be taking the test this weekend, I think tonight's show is going to be helping you a lot. Okay, so anybody, if you have joined the show, all right, okay, so Tien Yu Ingok Thwai. 안녕하세요. I'm learning Korean to say hello to my teacher. Hello, welcome to my show. Tien, yes, welcome again. So you actually typed Korean there? You said 안녕하세요? Well, that's amazing. Yes, welcome to the show. Okay, 어서 오세요. 환영합니다. Hyun, hello, thank you. Beloved teacher, thank you for coming to the show, Hyun. Yes, I'm really happy to see you again here too. Okay, so we have a lot of people who are, coming to the show from Vietnam, I believe, right? So both of you are Vietnamese. Do a lot of Vietnamese people study TOEIC and TOEIC speaking? Well, it seems like it. Yeah, I've been getting some DMs and, some messages on our, Gwen TV channel saying that you guys are taking TOEIC and also TOEIC speaking and TOEIC writing tests to get jobs, I guess, or maybe to graduate from college. But anyways, I'm very happy that this show could be more international day by day. Okay, hi teacher Gwen, you are beautiful as usually. Thank you very much. Yes. You know what? All throughout the week, because when I'm outside, I have to be wearing mask, right? So when I'm wearing a mask, actually makeup isn't necessary. It really isn't necessary. So all throughout the week, I wasn't wearing makeup. Oh, guys, for just a reminder for your information, when you are, when you have makeup on, you say you're wearing a makeup. So I'm wearing a makeup right now, but all throughout the week, I haven't been wearing makeup. So, for me, it's been months and months to put on really this heavy makeup. So it's a little awkward right now. Lan Tran, hi, hey, my dear Gwen, I just took my test, really, 2 days ago? So I guess you do not know the scores yet, right? I'm pretty sure you did very well, okay? Well, could you share some questions that you remember from your test? I would like to know. I'm pretty sure some viewers here would like to know too. Hello, Keiko. Hello, thank you for today's show. Well, thank you for coming to the show, Keiko. Okay. How's the weather in Japan? It's quite cold in Korea. Hi, Taeji. By the way, I was listening to your voice message, the ones that you sent me. So I was checking through the answers that you provided. And it's again, we're going to talk about it, but it's again about the pronunciation. Yeah. I think we need to have that, the Zoom session that we had already before. I'll try to make some time on weekend and we can tap into Zoom and talk about some things that you could maybe make some improvements on. Okay. So it's been 4 years since I participated in this live show. Maybe I'm the longest. I think you are the longest. Yes. You have such a very smooth skin. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Chris Evans, hello teacher. Due to part of your help, which means TOEIC speaking, the credential, I got a job I had dreamed about for a long time. Wow, Chris, congratulations. So share with us what kind of job you got. Where are you working? Like right now, like what kind of like work is it? I would like to know. That's very exciting. Good. And Tien, it's about car advertisement for question 3, 4, and 5. It was about car advertisement. Wow. Okay. Well, there are some people who do not drive, so maybe that could have been quite tricky. Okay, and Tien had a test on January 20th. Okay, so your test was on January 20th, and it was about car advertisement. I got it. Okay, good. Okay, well, for Koreans, a lot of Korean students who take the test, they say that part 3 is the toughest part for them. You know, the topics like, Tien said, car advertisement, like nowadays online advertisement. There are some topics that are really, really hard to talk about in English. So a lot of my students have been telling me, oh, teacher, part 3, I hate it. I don't want to do it. Yeah, so that's the toughest part for them. So I'm working as an overseas salesman for a valve industry. Wow, good, great. Overseas, you would definitely have to use English, right? So congratulations for getting the job. Great. Okay, so it seems like we have some people coming in. Okay, I do not see lots of Koreans. 한국 분들 계세요? 한국 분들 계시면 네, 타이핑 좀 해보세요. Hello guys, I'm doing a show from Korea, but I don't see many Korean people participating here. But anyways, yeah. Oh, I'm gonna drink a little bit of water here first. All right. Now, we're gonna go on right into part 1. Okay, so, oh, Chris, yeah, you're welcome. It's my pleasure, yeah. Okay, so the first passage is this for part 1, okay? And it says, welcome to our podcast. Okay, so nowadays, not a lot of people are listening to radio, but rather they would listen to podcasts, right? So, yeah, it's about some podcast program, and they have a guest on the show, and they're going to share some things about the information of the show. So take a look at the passage here while I read through and say hello to some people here. Chris, oh, you know how to, oh, you are Korean, Chris. I didn't know that. Okay. And Kwan, hi teacher. I hope that one day you can tell us some tips to brainstorm ideas for question 11 in speaking test. I'd love to. You know, right now, like you've been seeing some videos uploaded on the channel and they are in Korean. So I know some people, I've been getting those messages saying, when are you going to upload some English videos? We're getting to it. Like our hands are fully loaded, so it's really, really hard these days to work on some other stuff, but that is on our schedule, but it's going to take a little time to get to it. So yeah, it's going to take a little time. Sorry for that. Daisy, you're here. 안녕하세요. And Yewon, you're also here. Yuna's 5, hello. And Tadashi, yes, hello there. And Jennifer, wow, does this live streaming do regularly? I'm glad to be here, however. Yeah, I do this once a month on the 3rd week. So to tell you our next schedule, let me see. The next show will be on the 19th. Yes. Actually, I think it's going to be maybe on the 26th because in Korea, there will be the Korean New Year's Day, the Lunar New Year's Day. So I think we need one more week for the next month's show. So it's going to be, I think, on the 26th. But at least we do this once a month. So Jennifer, you're welcome to join, okay? If you follow the channel, you'll get a notice, all right? Okay, and Jennifer, I have to go another schedule. I always like your videos. Thank you. All right. Well, please join the live show next time, okay? Next time in February. Daisy, 인조루예요. 그녀님 라방 보러 슝? Okay. Ah, yes. Hello. Nice to see you. Yes. All right, so now we're going to look at the first passage, everybody. All right, so I'm going to read the first passage. Get an idea of how you should have read this, okay? Welcome to our podcast. This is Dave Sharma, the host of Vigorous Life. We know that spices like rosemary, cinnamon, and nutmeg can bring a significant change to the taste of your dishes. Today, we're going to deep dive into the world of spices to find out the health benefits of using spices in our everyday lives. Okay. Wow. There are some big words there. Now, one of the words could be vigorous. Vigorous. Okay, you're having a life full of something. It's vigorous. Vigorous. Okay. There's a stress on the first syllable, which is vi. Vigorous. Vigorous life. Vigorous. Okay. And now, when you're watching the show, don't just watch me do it. Just repeat after me and try to say those English words together with me. Okay. So it's vigorous. Vigorous, vigorous life. Now the next word was rosemary, and I think in Korea and in Japan, I think we would say this rosemary, rosemary, and make it into a 4-syllable word. But it's actually rosemary, rosemary, and the stress goes on the first syllable, which is rose, rosemary, rosemary. Okay, and cinnamon also is cinnamon, cinnamon. The stress goes on the first syllable, which is cinnamon, cinnamon. And the last word there is nutmeg, nutmeg. Okay, so it's not nutmeg, it's nutmeg, nutmeg. Also, the word significant could be quite hard to pronounce if you do not know the stress of this word. So the stress is significant, significant, okay? The stress goes on ni, it's significant, significant, okay? And other than that, word spices, because there's 3 S's there, so it's got to be spices, spices, okay? So make sure you make all 3 S sounds there, spices. Actually, the last sound is Z, the voice sound of S, so it's spices, 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 okay? Well, if you would like to know how to pronounce some of the words here, I'll be willing to say it. Okay, Allie. Okay, Allie M. Park is writing some English pronunciations in Korean. So she's saying vigorous, rosemary, or cinnamon. Okay, great job. Oh, 안녕님, you are going to take the exam tomorrow. You're nervous? Well, don't be nervous, okay? Because if you are nervous, you won't be able to say everything. So you must not be nervous. Try to drink something. Like when you go to the pharmacy, they would have some kind of like drink that could calm you down. It could help you, okay? 우황청심원 is the name in Korean, okay? All right, Lan, Gwen, a big thank you to you. I got a picture in P2 with a man is pulling a cart on the street, really pulling up, okay? And I've seen your video talking about a picture like this once. Thanks to that, I was able to talk in 45 seconds. Great. Hello, 경훈님. Okay, so I've read through the first passage before, about 5 minutes ago. Now I'm going to read the second passage again, okay? So listen to me carefully. See how I read it. I'm going to read it twice. First time, I'm going to read it a little bit slowly, and the second time, I'll be reading it a little faster, okay? Welcome to our podcast. This is Dave Sharma, the host of Vigorous Life. We know that spices like rosemary, cinnamon, and nutmeg can bring a significant change to the taste of your dishes. Today, we're going to deep dive into the world of spices to find out the health benefits of using spices in our everyday lives. Wow, that sentence there is so long. You gotta breathe in deeply to make it right. Okay, now this is the faster version, okay? Welcome to our podcast. This is Dave Sharma, the host of Vigorous Life. We know that spices like rosemary, cinnamon, and nutmeg can bring a significant change to the taste of your dishes. Today, we're going to deep dive into the world of spices to find out the health benefits of using spices in everyday lives. Okay? Whoops, I made a mistake there. So, I would like to recommend you guys to not read too fast, okay? Because this part is not about reading too fast, but it's rather about reading it correctly, okay? Correctly meaning don't make mistakes like what I did just now. Don't slip some words there. And try to, pronounce the words right, correctly. And the meaning phrases. I always tell you guys, the meaning phrases are so important, right? And there's got to be this flow. Like when you're reading English, there's always a flow to a sentence. Each sentence has a flow. So you got to know which words should be said more strongly and which words should be like not be emphasized, okay? So there's got to be that like rhythmical flow in the sentence you're reading. Okay, now I'm gonna look at some questions. If you have any questions, guys, ask me, okay? Oh, Eugene, I'm gonna take a test tomorrow too. Okay, well, don't worry, okay? I'm gonna help you guys take the test, okay? Stay with me until the end of the show, until we cover up the last part, which is part 6. Now, this is a second passage. So guys, look at it, have a look. Okay, have a look at it, and I'll be reading it first to show you an example of the reading for this passage, okay? And right when I look at it, the first sentence says, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Beacon Theater." So I guess this is like an announcement which could be heard at a theater. Theater. Oh, okay. Oh, I remember. Taiji, your question. I forgot to answer it. And I was waiting to answer that question on the show. And Taiji's question was, what's the difference between the pronunciation thought with the th, thought, which is a past tense of think, right? Thought, think, thought. Okay? And what the difference between SOUGHT, which is sought. All right. So there's a very little small difference there. So when you're making the pronunciation, when you're trying to pronounce the word thought, you see how you can see my tongue? It's thought. When you look from the side, you can tell that thought, I'm sticking out my tongue. Thought. Now this is a TH, thought, okay? But when I am saying the word with an S, SOUGHT, it's sought, no tongue. Sought, thought. You see the difference? So most Koreans and most Japanese people, when they first learn English, the TH sound is so unfamiliar because we do not have anything similar to that. So we make some similar sound, which is D or sometimes S, but they are totally different. D, S, T, and TH, they're all different sounds. So you have to know how to make different sounds for each one of them, okay? So SS 여정수님, 네, 안녕하세요. 처음 들어오셨어요. Welcome to the show. This is an English show. You're going to be, studying English here. Okay, so you see the difference, Taiji? It's thought with TH and sought with an S. Okay, I hope that clears everything out. Yeah, I wanted to wait for the show so I can show you on the screen because it's really hard to distinguish the sounds just by listening to it. Okay, all right. Now, I'm going to go on to this passage. I'll read it for you guys first. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Beacon Theater. Tonight's show is about to begin shortly. Please return to your seats, turn off all electronic devices, and stay quiet. You cannot leave the performance hall in the middle of the show. But please note that you can do so during the intermission. Thank you for your cooperation. Sorry, that's a typo. That's got to be a thank you for your cooperation, right? Sorry, guys. It's never our cooperation. It's thank you for your cooperation. Okay? All right. So some words here. Of course, the name Beacon Theater. The theater with the TH. Beacon Theater. That's quite hard for some people. The sound. Theater. Again, you can see my tongue sticking out. Theater, okay? And the next word is electronic devices. Now, when you look at the words like electronic, the spelling goes ELECTRONIC. There's this part where the spelling is T and then R. Now, when the T and R are linked together, the sound is very similar to the CH sound. You know, the CH sound in the word cheese or chocolate, okay? So rather than saying electronic, electronic, more of that thick T sound, it's better to say electronic. Electronic. Can you tell the difference? Electronic. Electronic is the T sound. Electronic. Electronic is the CH sound. It sounds similar to CH, okay? So electronic devices. This could be a little tricky for some people out there. All right, and the word performance. Performance is a long word, but you have to figure out the right stress for the word, which is performance. It goes on FOR. Performance. Performance, okay? And the word intermission is also quite unfamiliar. I'm pretty sure most people haven't read this word before. So it's intermission. And lastly, the word cooperation. Now, in this word, there are two O's, right? And you do not say cooperation. That's wrong. No, cooperation is wrong. You have to say cooperation. Cooperation. You have to separate those two O sounds. So the first O would be co, and the second O would be and then operation. Cooperation. 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 Okay. All right. So try to practice it yourself. 소영님 안녕하세요. 오랜만에 보니까 너무 좋아요. 진짜 좋다. 이번 주말에도 시험 보세요, 소영님? 진짜 레벨 8을 받아다 달라고 소영님. 화이팅! 경우님, electronic. That was very good. Yes, it's electronic. Electronic. Home to Junie-san. Beautiful voice. Thank you very much. And Ona, in this paragraph, it is written as cannot, but I want to read it as can't. Is this okay? No, it's not okay. Now, when you are given a script for part 1, it's just for part 1. You can always say can't in any other parts. But in part 1, you must say it cannot if it is written cannot. And if it is written can't, please read it as can't. Same goes to it is or there is. If it is not contracted, make sure you read it as it is on the script. Okay? I hope that helps you out. Okay, now I'm going to read it again, guys. I picked out some words. I told you the second to the last word, remember, is not our. It's got to be thank you for your cooperation. Thank you for your cooperation. Remember, that word is not our, it's your. Okay, so here goes the reading. Listen carefully. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Beacon Theater. Tonight's show is about to begin shortly. Please return to your seats, turn off all electronic devices, and stay quiet. You cannot leave the performance hall in the middle of the show. But please note that you can do so during the intermission. Thank you for your cooperation. Okay? You do not have to read the passages so fast, okay? Because every single one of my students, they say after reading it once, they have time remaining, okay? So the time given to you for this part is 45 seconds. But you would have enough time to read it once, okay? So don't read it too fast. Just pace yourself, not to read too fast. Just moderately, not so slow. Now, right now, I'm talking English slower than my usual English because I know a lot of you are Koreans, Vietnamese, Japanese, some Taiwanese, and like a lot of you, for most of us, English is not a mother tongue language, right? It's not a native language, so it might be hard to understand if I talk too fast. That is why I'm trying to speak slowly, slower than my usual speed, okay? But it's fine. You guys hear me? I'm fluent and I always get perfect score on TOEIC speaking, okay? So don't get that frustration that you have to speak fast to get better score, okay? You can only get better score if you make less mistakes or no mistakes at all. Okay, so that was part 1. Now we're going to move on to part 2. Okay, it's covering up my face. It wasn't intentional. Let me try to move it around. Okay, all right. It's just gonna cover up my face. Okay, I'll have to lean over this way. Okay. Chris, Teacher, I want to stay here to have your great lesson, but I can't. Thank you for your help again. We'll watch your streaming. Stay warm and see you next time. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye, Chris. Okay, guys. Looking at the picture, share with me some words that you can see or you would like for me to use when I describe the picture, okay? When you're describing a picture, for those of you who are here for the first time, when you're describing the picture, you need to relate the picture, the content in the picture with the English words that you know. For instance, woman is a good word. And other than that, brown hair or long hair, right? There's the brown apron. It's called apron. Or some people might say uniform. Okay, wow, Slee, yes, bag. Bag is a good one. You can also say a brown bag. We call that a brown bag because of the color. Or you could say a paper bag. Paper bag. Coffee is a very good word choice. Woman, okay. Man, okay, Slee's doing a very good job. Guys, other people, please participate. Now, all these words are nouns, okay? Nouns, 명사. Now we need verbs. The action, okay? So what is the woman doing? And what is the man doing? Okay? What's happening in this picture? 여짱수님, this picture was taken at a cafe and there are two people. First thing I can see is a woman putting something into a bag. She's smiling and wearing a white t-shirt and brown apron. That's good, apron. Okay, there are some good words there. Smiling, okay, putting something into a bag. Putting something into a bag. That is a very good word. Actually, that's a very hard word. Some people cannot, describe what's going on, like especially when somebody's putting something into a bag or putting something out of a bag. Putting something into a bag, taking something out of a bag. Okay? Working? Yeah, maybe they're working. Of course they're working. They look like people working at the cafe, right? They're working. And look at the guy. He's holding something in his hand. Is that a phone? Oh my gosh, this guy is not working. He's slacking off. He's not working right now. He's using his phone. He's sending text messages to somebody. He's not working. I'm just kidding. Maybe he's checking the phone, right? Checking the phone. And next to him, of course, that's an espresso machine. That's a machine, right? And you can call this place a counter. On the right side, it's a counter. Okay. 2,000원. Thank you. Okay. Behind her, I can see a man holding a smartphone. He's also smiling. Okay. And in the middle of the picture, okay, I need to see somebody else's. Lack of work ethic. Lack of work ethic is slacking off. 땡땡이 친다. In Korean, it is 땡땡이 치다. You can say is slacking off. It's S-L-A-C-K off. O-F-F. It's slacking off. It means like you have to be working, but you're doing something else, and you pretend you're working, but actually you're not doing something right. So it's like slacking off. When you are working someplace, there are always some people who are slacking off. So you can say it's maybe slacking off, but we're not sure. Yeah. Okay, and Keiko, this is a picture taken at a coffee shop in the middle of the picture. Okay, Keiko, you cannot say in the middle picture. You have to say in the middle of the picture. In the middle of the picture, there's a woman who has long brown hair. Good. She's wearing a white t-shirt and a brown apron. That was pretty good. Okay, and sleek coffee machine. Yes. Okay. And Teiji, this is a picture taken at a cafe's workplace. And, well, it's good to be very precise at the cafe's workplace. Or you could say the kitchen, right? Kitchen. Or the counter. Behind the counter. Okay? Behind the cafe's counter. On the left side of the picture, I can see some cups on the machine. Right? 경우님, slacking off. 땡땡이 치다. Okay, and Tran, a woman is standing behind the counter. She's wearing a brown apron and she's putting something into a paper bag. I would say it's only one, okay? I cannot see many there, so I would say a paper bag, into a paper bag. And behind her, there's a man. He has a beard. Yeah, he does have a beard and he's wearing an apron too. 여짱수님, on the left side of the picture, I can see a table and there are 2 cups of coffee. Okay, that's got to be plural. 2 cups of coffee on the table. All right? Okay, great. So, 반반님, thank you for 2,000원. Good evening. Yes. Hyun, this picture is taken at a coffee shop and there are two people, they're working. The man behind the woman with a beard is using something. I guess it is a phone. He is wearing, okay? Now, it's got to be present progressive. It is not he wears. Hyun, make sure to remember this. It's he is wearing, okay? He is wearing a uniform. And Slee, she's putting something into the brown paper bag. It might be coffee and a biscuit for a customer. That is a great imagination. That was quite creative. Actually, I love eating biscuit with coffee. Especially, I love the KFC biscuit, that buttermilk biscuit. It's really delicious. I love it, yeah. Putting some butter on it and some, strawberry jam with it. It's perfect. Yes, actually, I didn't have dinner tonight. I was in a hurry coming back here to my, this place, the studio at my place. I was working in the office until 5, and I was riding my bike back to my place, and I had to put on makeup and everything, so I didn't have time for dinner. So right now, my stomach is grumbling. You know what grumbling means? When somebody is grumbling, she's complaining, or he is complaining, grumbling. It's Grumbling, grumbling. 투덜투덜거리다, 궁시렁거리다. She's grumbling or he's grumbling. But when my stomach is grumbling, it means that I'm hungry. My stomach is, it's making sound. It's grumbling. You can say that. Okay. All right. Sleep. Yes, delightful. All right. And Hyun, the woman is putting her hand into something and smiling. Okay. I would say into a bag, a paper bag. She has long hair. She's also wearing her uniform. Maybe she's taking order from the customers. Good. Sleep, that was very helpful. Yeah, writing that word, grumbling. Okay, starving. All right, now I'm going to use a timer to use all the expressions you guys shared, and I will try to show you a model response, okay? This is a picture taken at a cafe, and there are two people in this picture. They look like workers at the cafe. In the middle of the picture, I can see a woman. She has long brown hair, and she's wearing a brown apron. She's smiling and putting something into a brown paper bag. And in front of her, there is a cup of coffee on the counter. On the left side of the picture, I can see a man, and actually he's also wearing a brown apron. He's standing up and holding a phone. Maybe he's checking his message. And next to him, I can see a coffee machine. And maybe they are not busy right now, so maybe the man is slacking off. Maybe he's trying to rest or something. He's not working actually. Okay, so in the end, I tried really hard to use the word slacking off. Maybe he's slacking off. Maybe he's not working. Maybe they're not busy right now. Okay, so those are some of the assumptions, something that I'm thinking, but maybe it could be true, maybe it is not true, okay? So I'm just assuming that maybe he is slacking off. Okay, so that's how I did it. That's how I would do it, okay? So that was part 2. Now, we're gonna move on to part 3. It's about artwork. Yes. So artwork. Yes, Lee, it's the word assumption. It was just an assumption, meaning that I was just thinking, guessing that he's doing something. Okay. Artwork, it could be anything. It could be pictures, drawings, okay, paintings. It could be sculptures. I like to buy not the real artwork because they're quite expensive, They could be quite expensive, but I like to buy copies of them. So I have some pictures here in this room as well, and I like to display them in this room or other rooms in my house because I like drawings. And what's more interesting about each and every drawing is that they have a story to it, okay? I'd like to share with you a picture here that I have. Hold on. Ta-da! Do you guys know this picture? It's a very famous picture. It's a very famous drawing, so some of you might have seen it, yeah. The artist is her. It's herself. It's actually a picture of herself. Her name is Frida Kahlo. Frida Kahlo. Yes. And when she was young, she was in this bus accident, and this whole like pole inside the bus went through her body like this. So she became like she wasn't able to move her whole life. Yeah. So half her body was just like not moving, and she wasn't able to like get out of bed for a long time. But later on, she continued on drawing pictures, and later she drew this picture of herself, like trying to describe what happened to her and how like her feelings were. And when you look at some pictures of her, she always has like that eyebrows connected. Yeah, she thought that was like very distinctive look of her. So she always has those two eyebrows connected like this. Yeah. So I like to buy artworks. Like this is just a copy of it. I bought a frame, which is about $5. I bought the picture. It's a postcard, and I framed it. And the total of it might be like less than $10. And I like to do this because it reminds me of like what kind of person the artist is, and I just like to have these kind of things to decorate my house. So the reason why I like to not study but enjoy art is because there's lots of stories to it. There are a lot of stories to like artists' life, and they gotta have some kind of like happenings in their life to become better artists, I think. So Picasso has his own stories. Frida Kahlo has her own stories. So I like to learn the stories of the great artists. So the artwork, I have a lot to say about artwork, but if you do not have any experience with artwork, then I guess you could refer to what I can say, okay? So first question would be, when did you last purchase artwork and what did you buy? Okay, you do not have to think too much for these two questions. Don't think too much. I always tell you guys, a good speaker is a good liar. Okay, you have to be a good liar. We're not trying to find out like who's telling the truth, who's telling a lie. We're trying to show the people at ETS, that you guys can speak English, right? So it doesn't have to be the truth. So when? It could be yesterday, it could be last month, it could be last week, or it could be last year, or 3 months ago. All it has to be is something past, okay? And what did you buy? I bought a painting. I bought a sculpture. I bought a small picture, a photo, okay? It could be anything, okay? All right, so you could say something very simple as that. But the thing is, you have to provide an answer relevant to the questions. Some people say, no, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't buy artwork. Always try to be, affirmative. Don't say negative answers. If you say no, your answers has to be short. Your answers would be short, and that means that your score wouldn't be so high, okay? Try to always say something affirmative. Say something positive about the question. Yes, I've done it. It doesn't matter if it's not truth, okay? Now, the first question is that, and let's see. Actually, yesterday I bought a small picture. See, this is a very good answer. Actually, yesterday I bought a small picture. And Keiko, I bought some postcards last December to send them to my friends for Christmas. Okay, sculpture, painting, sounds good. Jungsu, the last time I purchased artwork was 6 years ago. It was a painting. It was very fancy. So you're looking at it every day, then it is very fancy. I appreciate that painting every day at my home. That's good. You appreciate something means you're not just looking at it, but you're looking at it and thinking, and you're trying to find out good points of it. Good. Hyun, I bought artwork last month. It was a picture of our country during the war, 1945. Yeah, people were very poor and they were working on a farm. That is a very good description. Okay. All right. So first question. I bought a pottery last weekend. Pottery. Teji, pottery is a good example of an artwork. Yeah, it could be an artwork. Some artists, they make potteries, right? So that, and Slee, the last time I purchased an artwork was yesterday on Amazon. Good. I purchased a painting titled Paint by LDR. Okay. All right. That is a very precise answer, very detailed. Good. Now we're going to move on to the second question, which says, where do you usually purchase artwork? Where do you usually purchase artwork? So purchasing artwork for me would be a museum, because when you go to a museum, at the end of each exhibition there's some kind of a souvenir place, right? You can buy some souvenirs related to the exhibition. So that's where I always go at the end of the exhibition and buy some kind of artwork, okay? Not too expensive, but something within my budget. And maybe online, like Amazon, because there's everything on Amazon. You can basically find whatever you want on Amazon. Online, that's a good place. And Kale, like department store, yeah, we can go to a department store. Department store must have something there as artwork, right? So those kind of places. And you wouldn't want to just say one sentence, but you would want to provide some more detail regarding the place that you are suggesting. I purchase artwork at a department store because when I go to a department store, there are many kinds of artwork, okay? So it is easy to find whatever I want. Try to provide more detail related to something that you say in the first sentence, okay? All right, it seems like Ali's computer is a little bit slow. She's talking about part 2. Jangsu님, I usually buy artwork at local market. Good, there are a lot of artworks and price is very reasonable. I totally agree with that. You know why? Because when I went to Bali, Bali is the place where they have markets everywhere. They have markets in, I went to this place called Ubud. Yeah, Ubud. It's U-B-U-D, Ubud. And this is a place where it's known for yoga. And there was this long market. And I was walking down this long market street and like people were calling my names, come on, buy it. And I would negotiate the price, asking for more price. And, I was able to save tons of money. I bought so many things, some useless. I didn't spend a lot of money, but it was just fun bargaining the price. So yeah, the price could be quite reasonable when you go to markets. That's a good point. And Hyun, I bought that picture on my trip to a historical place with my class. There was a shop there selling those pictures. The prices were reasonable. Good. Talking about the price. Good. I usually purchase artwork at the exhibition, although it is expensive. Okay, good. You could say at a museum as well. And Tien, I usually purchase beautiful pictures online because the price is more suitable for me. Yeah, always when we find something online, it's cheaper than the stores, right? So I agree with that too. And I have purchased an artwork a few years ago back at the department store. 재호식님, that is true. Oh, 여짱수님, you've been to Ubud. Yes. It was so amazing. I got to know this place, Ubud, in Bali because of that, movie and the book, Eat, Pray, and Love. Julia Roberts, she filmed this, movie. And inside that movie, she goes to Bali, and that's where she falls in love with yoga. And that place is actually Ubud. So that's the reason why I visited Ubud. And there were some yoga places. The place that I went to was called Yoga Barn. I went to this place called Yoga Barn, and I practiced yoga, and I had some kind of fruit, vegetable juice there. And it was great. The whole area was so, how can I say, very local. And I was able to feel the vibe of how local Balinese are living. And it was just amazing. And the best food in Bali that I had was the pork ribs. Yeah. They were barbecue pork ribs. They were so delicious. All right. Don't make me talk about food. Okay, Roy, I usually purchase artwork at department store. There are many kinds of artworks that I can choose from. A very good, supportive idea. Okay? Great. So there goes the second question. Well done. Now, let's move on to the third one, which is the last one. Now, do you think it is a good idea to give artwork as a gift to someone? Now, for the last question, in part 3, you have to talk for 30 seconds. So it's really hard to talk about something just using the fact, okay, your opinion for 30 seconds. So what I tell my students is that to always provide an example, all right? Always try to provide an example, then, it would be easier. Now, to fill in 30 seconds. You know what? Allie's lines are actually distracting me because right now I think she is talking about part 2. Yeah. I think her internet is somehow late. So everybody here, we're talking about part 3, but Allie here is talking about part 2. All right, so where was I? Okay, so always provide an example. So the question again says, do you think it is a good idea to give artwork as a gift to someone? Then you say, yeah, I gave a piece of artwork as a gift to someone. Like, let's say my friend, it was her birthday, or my brother, it was his birthday. And it was a picture, and it was a picture by Frida Kahlo. Well, I liked it, so I gave it to her, and she liked it, so I was very happy. So always try to provide some kind of an example happening that relates to the question, okay? Jewish-님, I think it's a really good idea to give an artwork as a gift. Yeah, I do think so too. Because you know what? I would love to receive pictures as a gift because they're quite expensive. They could get quite expensive, and I love to collect pictures, okay? Oh, Roy, I think it's a good idea to give artwork as a gift to someone. There are several reasons, and most of all, we can share good memories and build a good relationship with someone who receives my gift, okay? You could talk about the picture. Like, I was telling you guys about the story of Frida Kahlo, which is very impressive, right? She was this disabled person. She wasn't able to walk around. Her spines were destroyed. She wasn't able to, sit down herself. But she became a great artist as a woman. So that was very amazing. Like, we can share the stories of it, right? Hyun, I think it's a good idea. For example, I'm a student, so I don't have much money. I just purchased cheap pictures for my family members by sending those gifts to my family members. It shows that you care about them, you love them. So yeah, it's suitable as a housewarming gift. That's a good one. Housewarming gift. 집들이 선물. It's a gift that you buy for the host when it's a new house and they're trying to warm up the house by having a party, right? It's a housewarming gift. Jang-su님, yes, I think it's a good idea to give a boring. First, it's very expensive. I think there's no one person hate to get expensive gift. Okay, that makes sense. And also, there are many people who are interested in our work. They will be reminded of me when they appreciate that artwork. That's good too. Great. And Hyun, you care for them, you think of them. It helps to build a good relationship with our family, with my family. You could just say it's my family, with my family. Yes or no? Yes, if the person loves the art, and no. Okay. In this case, still, if you want to put it that way, you would say it depends on the situation. Okay? Don't say yes and no. It's better to say it depends on the situation. Or in this case, you could say it depends on the person. It depends on the person. Okay? That's a better way to put this, not yes and no. Okay? Because an artwork shows an hidden emotion, it's got to be a noun that we could show our feelings through the picture of an artwork. For example, love and affection. Okay. 재호식님, I think it's becoming a little hard. Okay? Try to keep it simple. Try to keep it simple. All right? Even now, right now, when I'm speaking English, I am trying to keep the sentences simple so all of you could understand what I'm saying, although it's not your mother tongue language, okay? So now, one by one, I'm going to try to fit the questions into the given time. So the first question is, when did you last purchase artwork and what did you buy? Okay. Last weekend, I went to a museum, and at the end of the exhibition, I went to a souvenir store and I bought an artwork. Actually, I bought a small painting, and it was beautiful. Whoops, okay. So that was 15-second answer, and it was quite long. I said a lot. I think I said like 4 to 5 sentences, okay? And I spoke not fast, quite slowly. Now the second question. Where do you usually purchase artwork? Well, I I usually purchase artwork at a museum. I go to museums from time to time, and when I go there, I enjoy exhibitions, and after that, I like to purchase artwork. Okay. So this time, I think it was like 4 to 5 sentences again, and I slowly produced my answer by saying I go to museums, I see exhibitions, and after that I buy artwork. Okay, step by step. I don't go directly into the answer. And also, when I started the answer, I start with the word well. Okay, well, I didn't go deep, dive right into the answer, but I would say, well, trying to use that filler word so I would sound more natural. Okay? Try that next time. It's going to make your English sound much more natural. All right. And the next question is, do you think it is a good idea to give artwork as a gift to someone? Okay. I definitely think it is a good idea to give artwork as a gift to someone because it's very nice. For example, last month, it was my brother's birthday. So I bought a nice painting for him. It was a painting of flowers and I gave it to him. He liked it. Well, I was very happy. It wasn't a picture of a very famous artist, but everybody was happy. So I think it was worth it. Okay. So at the very end, I said something like, it was worth it. It was worth it. Can somebody type in those 4 words? It was worth it. Now again, that is the TH sound. It was worth it. It was worth it. It was worth it. Means that there was a value to that present. There was a meaning. It was a meaningful present. So I said it was worth it. It was worth buying that artwork. It was worth it. Okay? So I said that at the end. And sleep, you could definitely say it depends on the person's personal preference. That is exact way of putting it. And I said from time to time. That's true, okay? From time to time, meaning I don't go there often, but I go there maybe like 3 or 4 or even 6 times a year. Yeah. It was worth it. Yes, it was worth it. It was totally worth it. Everybody's writing it. Thank you. Artwork is countable or uncountable? It's uncountable. It's uncountable. That's why 2 pieces of artwork, one piece of artwork, you cannot, a piece of artwork. I bought 1 piece of artwork. I bought a painting. Paintings and sculptures can be countable, but artwork itself is actually uncountable. Okay? But don't think about that too much, okay? Don't think about that too much because that S sound is actually very tricky to catch. So just don't think about it too much and try to just go with the flow. Teji, I think it's a good idea to give artwork as a gift to someone. I have a friend. I have a potter friend. His name is Ken. He spends 3 days making coffee cup with my name as a brick. Oh, okay. Now, Teji, let's split the sentences into shorter ones. Now, I think it's a good idea. I have a friend. He is a potter. His name is Ken, and he spends 3 days. He spent 3 days making a cup for me, and he wrote my name on the cup, and he gave it to me as a birthday present, and I was happy. Okay? Because it was his artwork. It was meaningful. Try to make shorter sentences. Those sentences right now are too long and they're somehow grammatically incorrect. So make sure to split up the sentences. Kyungun, you're always enthusiastic and give positive energy to others. I really admire you. I have to go now. Thank you for offering precious lectures. See you later. Bye, Kyungun. Bye-bye. See you next time in February. Great. So that was question 6. Now let's move on to part 4, where we can look at a chart. It's about a national teachers conference. Okay, have a look at it. Okay. Nowadays, okay, so I moved my seat. Well, nowadays the charts are actually longer and they're becoming more complicated. So it's quite hard to figure out the answers within the given 3 seconds of preparation time. So some people say, oh, teacher, the chart was too complicated. It was too hard. I wasn't able to find the answers. But you know what? The whole format itself is the same. But, I guess a lot of people are doing a good job on the test. So ETS is trying to make it tougher to sort of like average out the score. Because if everybody, does a great job, it's really hard to tell who is a better speaker and who is not. So they're trying to create a little bit harder ones, okay? So maybe they would add 1 or 2 more lines. And you see something like this. Like for this chart, it's 2 days schedule. It's not 1 day schedule. Normally, they gave out 1 day schedule. But nowadays, they like to give out 2 day schedule, right? And the charts are longer. The topics are longer. So yeah, it's a little tricky. It's really hard to get the right answers, but as always, there's a pattern, okay? There's always a pattern. You see on the top, it says Miller Academic House. That could be the answer for one of the questions because they love to ask you about the place, the location, or we call it venue, right? So that could be a part of your answer. And also, when you look to the left side here, all right? Those are the dates, right? Because they love to ask you about when the conference will be held. Then you would have to provide the dates, the day, Friday, Saturday, the dates, 14th of July, 15th of July, okay? And they love to ask you about the hours, the time, especially when it starts. So you look at number 9, it's 9 a.m. And in the middle, it says sessions. There are so many sessions there, okay? And on the right side, we see the names as usual. They are the speakers. And on the bottom, there is the price information. And you all know that they love to ask about pricing, right? So you should know how to, provide the price information. I always tell my students, when you look at the price, don't think about anything else. Don't you dare say the word registration fee. I always tell my students to say, it'll cost something dollars, right? So make sure you know that expression too. It's it'll cost. Okay, so let's see if some of the questions are given in patterns, like we all know, okay? So here goes the narration. She said, hello, my name is Jenny Fredericks, and I'm planning to attend the National Teachers Conference, which will be held next month. Before I sign up, I have some questions to ask about the event. Could you please help me out? Now, everybody listen carefully. This is the first question. She said, on which day will I be able to learn more about multilingualism, and what time will it start? That was the question. Okay, I'm going to repeat. Listen carefully. On which day will I be able to learn more about multilingualism, and what time will it start? Okay, so I'm going to be waiting for your answers. Show me what you got. Type in your answers. What was the answer? Or what was the question? I said it twice. So you should be able to understand. Are you guys diligently writing the answers? Okay, I'm going to say the question once again. She said, on which day will I be able to learn more about multilingualism? And what time will it start? All right, the first answer is Slee. We know that's the information, but you have to put it into sentences, okay? This test is about proper speaking. I know you can do it. I know you were trying to provide the information on what part of the chart is the answer, but yeah, like Teji. Multilingualism will be held on Saturday, July 15th, and it will start at 11 a.m. Okay, that was a little bit better. There will be a session on multi at 11 a.m. 벨공님. Okay, that was a great answer. There will be a session on multilingualism at 11 a.m. Okay, And 여장수님, well, the session on multilingualism will be held on Saturday, July 15th from 11 a.m. That was a great answer too, okay? And worth, Vincent, given by Vincent. Okay, 멜공님, given by Vincent. But actually, 멜공님, when you said there will be a session on multilingualism, it has to be led by, okay? When we use the word session, the word matches with the verb lead or led by. So in other way, it would be Vincent Dunn who will lead a session on multilingualism. Okay, so session has to go with the word lead or led by. All right, and Keiko, multilingualism will be held on the Saturday. Okay, no duh, you don't have to say on the Saturday, it's just on Saturday, July 15th. Okay, it will be led by. All right, and Keiko, when you first said it, you have to actually say there will be a session on multilingualism. You have to use that word session. Okay, there will be a session on multilingualism led by Mr. Vincent. Okay, I like your answer too. The first session will, actually, but it's not about the first session, remember? Okay, it's not about the first session. The question was a different one. It will be held on July 15th. It's on Saturday, and Vincent Dunn will deliver this session. That is good. Deliver this session. Okay. All right. So most of you got it right. And Teji, make sure not to say multilingualism will be held, but it's better to say, it's actually, you have to say it this way. You have to say, there will be a session on multilingualism. There will be a session on multilingualism. And when I say on, it means about, okay? There will be a session on multilingualism. And it will be held on Saturday, July 15th. And it will start at 11 a.m. Okay? That's how you put it. All right, guys. Wow, that was a great first question. Now, that was a warm-up, so we're going to go on to the second question. And the second one is, last year, the conference took place at Inglewood Convention Center. Will it be held at the same place this year? Okay, I'm going to read that question once again. Listen carefully. Last year, the conference took place at Inglewood Convention Center. Will it be held at the same place this year? Last year, the convention took place at Inglewood Convention Center. You got it, right? And will it be held at the same place this year? Okay. And as always, the second question is always for you to say yes or no in the beginning. Okay, Dere, you got that right. There will be a session on something. And make sure you remember that phrase with led by somebody. There will be a session on multilingualism led by Vincent Dunn. Or do. That's the thing about English names. Even Americans or, English people, British people, they don't know how to pronounce some words right. Okay? So don't be afraid of making mistakes when reading English names. Because all these English names, they come from different kinds of languages and different kinds of backgrounds. So unless that's your name, some people might get it wrong. Right? Oh, 멜공님, you're the first person to answer. No, you got the wrong information this year. The conference will be held at Miller Academic House. Good. Well done. And 여장수님, you've got the wrong information this year. It will be held in Miller Academic House. Please keep that in mind. Don't be late. You left out the word be. Don't be late. Okay, 여장수님, don't be late. And Keiko, no, this year it will be held at Miller Academic House. Please keep it in mind. Perfect answer, Keiko. And actually no, this year the conference will take place in Miller Academic House. Please remember this. Great. But normally in front of the word Miller Academic House, it's better to say at, okay? So when to say at and when to say in. Now guys, listen carefully. This is something that you get confused all the time. All right, so when there is a location, this is a place, you know it, right? Like for example, Miller Academic House. It's a location, and when this location is something or name or an address or something that could be shown on a map. It's a location that could be shown on a map. It is at. okay? At some place. At Miller Academic House. At something something hotel. At LaGuardia Airport. At something symphony concert hall. At some place. So this place can be shown on a map. Then you say at the place, okay? Now, when it is not a location which could be shown on the map, for example, something room, like a meeting room 101, or, dining room, or something cafeteria. It's some kind of a place within a building. It's inside a building. It could be a lobby, it could be something room, okay? In that case, especially like banquet hall. Banquet hall is a part of a hotel, right? Normally, it's a part of a hotel. It's a part of a building. It's inside a building. In this case, you say in that name, okay? In a meeting room, in a dining hall, in the cafeteria, in the banquet hall. I think you guys are understanding what I'm trying to say, okay? There is a difference between when to use at and when to use in. And in this case, Miller Academic House happens to be some location that could be found on the map. I think so. So that's why you have to say at. Okay? All right. Well, okay, it was for on. On. Okay? I hope you understand this. This year, the session will be held at the Miller Academic House. That was good. And Teiji, no, this year's conference will take place at Miller Academics. Though, please do not make a mistake. Okay. So most people said at. Okay, so on, make sure to remember to say at. Wow, finally I got it exactly, right. So my brother is in his room, my mom is in the kitchen, my dad is in the living room, and we are at our house, okay? Okay, I'm trying to make it the easiest way to explain this in English, so everyone here could understand. All right, now it's making me hot. The last question. Listen carefully, everybody. Could you please tell me about the sessions that could be helpful for people? Sorry, again. Could you please tell me about the sessions that could be helpful for teachers and their teaching methods? Now, this was a very tricky question. Look at the chart and listen to my question at the same time. Listen carefully. Could you please tell me about the sessions that could be helpful for teachers and their teaching methods? Could you please tell me about the sessions that could be helpful for teachers and their teaching methods? Okay? Try to find out which two relate to that, okay? Now, thank you. Now I know the difference between in and at. On is used for the floors. On the first floor, on the second floor, on the third floor, on the fourth floor, on the top floor, on the rooftop. Okay, so on is only used for the floors. Okay, and of course, when you say on the internet is another location. It's a cyber world, right? So we say online, on the internet, on Naver, on Google, on Amazon. Slee, do you understand? Let me know. If you are confused, I will explain this again to you, okay? All right, back to the last question. Question 9. Again, the question was quite tricky. Could you please tell me about the sessions that could be helpful for teachers and their teaching methods? Okay? Look at it. It could be a little tricky. Yes. Okay. Now, when you look at this, it's really tough to figure out the two, right? Because the whole thing is for teacher. The whole conference is for teacher. But you got to try to find the session which has the word teachers or teaching. That's all you got to do. Don't get too confused. Just find the sessions that has the word teachers, teaching. That's all you have to do. Okay? Don't think too deeply and try to think, oh my God, this could be helpful for teachers. This could be helpful for their teaching methods. This could be helpful. Don't think too deeply, okay? Do not think too deeply into it. Just find the word teachers, teaching, and you can easily find what the answers are. So, oh, you're home now, Tadashi. Oh, welcome home. Okay, you had a tough day today. Welcome home. Welcome home. You must be really tired. Okay. All right. So I think you guys are thinking it too hard, not too much. There are 2 sessions. First of all, there will be a session on alternate ways of teaching. Right. Led by 멜공님. Led by somebody. Led by the name. Led by who is it? Doris White. Led by. There's got to be a name. Okay. Led by Doris White at 9 a.m. on July 14th. Also, Diana will give a presentation on, it's not about, actually you have to say on student-teacher relationship at 10 a.m. on July 15th. Okay, so there's got to be a little bit of adjustment. Yeah, you have to put in the name, and instead of saying about, it's give a presentation on. That's like normally what people would say. Okay, SLE, there are 2. One is held on the 14th of May at 9 a.m. led by Doris White. The second one is held on. Okay, so SLE, you did give the right information, but you gotta mention the topics. Okay, they want you to say the topic. Okay, that's why they're giving you 30 seconds of answering time. Owen, let me check the schedule for you. That's a good start. And there are 2 sessions. All you have to say is there are 2 sessions, okay? You don't have to say it too long. Just say there are 2 sessions and go right into describing what the sessions are, okay? You don't necessarily have to say too much. All you have to do is just use the information on the chart and you put them into sentences. That's all you got to do. Don't get it too complicated. Now, I need one perfect answer so I can just pass on to the next part, because up until now the answers that I see here on the screen are not 100% right. I need one answer that could be 100% right. Okay, please help me out, somebody. There's got to be somebody out there who could get it right. There's got to be somebody out there who could help me with this. No? Are you guys working on it? I hope so. Can I say there will... You know what, 멜공님? Just say there will be 2 sessions. Okay, that's just good enough. There will be 2 sessions. Teiji, first, on Friday 14th at 9 a.m., there will be a session on alternative ways of teaching led by Doris White. Second, Teiji, on Saturday 15th at 10 a.m., Diane Caldwell will give a speech on students and teachers' relation. That was perfect, except for on. And I know you know it because on the first one you said it. You said on Friday 14th, but you left out on in the second part, right? In part 2, you said the man is slacking off. It's slack. S-L-A-C-K-I-N-G. Slacking off, meaning not working properly. Slacking off. S-L-A-C-K-I-N-G. He's slacking off. Well, it's not something that you want to say for part 2, but in this picture, it looked like he wasn't working, right? So that's why I said he was slacking off. He's not doing his work. He's like playing. He's doing something else. That's the meaning of it. Slacking off. Okay, Keiko, there will be 2 sessions first. Okay, Keiko, you have to say there will be a session on. There will be a session on alternate ways of teaching led by Doris White. Okay, and Keiko, would you look at the answer given on the upper side? Teiji Shimada-san, he wrote an answer there. Maybe you can refer to that answer. Okay, Teiji's answer is perfect right now, except there's got to be on. The preposition on between the word second and Saturday, okay? Other than that, I think you should refer to Taeji's answer. His answer is quite good, okay? Oh, 안녕, 진영. Hello. Are you the 진영 that I know? There are so many Park Jinyoung out there, right? Okay. All right, Melgung, you understood. Good. Okay? Slacking off. Yeah, that's the expression. Hyun, slacking off. That's the word. Okay, so I got one answer right, so I'm going to move on to part 5, guys. Ready? Now I'm going to come to the center here. Back to the center. Okay, so part 5 is where we get a message. Okay, now for those of you who are about to take the test this weekend, make sure to remember what I tell you about part 5 today, because normally, like when the tests are about a week apart or 2 weeks apart, they tend to use similar situations, okay? So whatever you hear on this test here, this was actual test from 1 week ago. Then there's a high chance that you will be listening to a similar situation on tomorrow's test or maybe on Sunday's test, okay? So listen carefully and remember the solutions that I tell you guys and use them at your actual test, okay? All right, Slee, there are 2. The first session is alternate way of teaching. Slee, all right, before I go into part 5, I want to make correction with the answer Slee has just posted now. Now, this answer is grammatically wrong, Slee, right now. Your answer, the starting of your answers are like, the first session is something, way of teaching is held. You see, there are 2 verbs in your sentence, which is not correct. It's incorrect. So everybody, please refer to Teiji Shimada-san's answer. It's a little bit on the top over there. It's here, yeah, Taeji's answer there. And you should be able to know how to say it right, okay? Okay, it's gotta be grammatically correct. You have all the information there, but it's gotta be grammatically correct. Okay, back to part 5. Now, I'm going to call you guys. Remember, this is a phone message. All right, listen carefully. Hello, this is Jenny Sheldon working at the City Hall. As you know, most of the roads in our city are very old, so we are in the process of repaving them right now. The construction started a week ago, but we still need 2 more weeks to finish repaving all the streets. The problem is, because of this massive construction project, the traffic is doing really bad these days. We are having more policemen go out in the street to help with the traffic situation. However, with so many streets closed, I don't think the situation will improve. I think the only way to work things out here is to have more people use the public transportation instead of driving their own cars. Since I'm new to this job, I really can't think of a way to make this happen. As you are my director, I'd like to hear your opinion on this matter. Could you please return my call at extension 17 and share your ideas with me? I'll be waiting for your call. Thanks. Bye. And that was me trying to talk in with a British accent. Okay. It was, I think, easier to understand, hopefully. Okay, it was a British, like Gwen trying to mimic British accent, which I don't think was perfect. Of course I wasn't perfect. Okay, all right. So, let's see what you heard, what you guys heard, what you guys have heard. All right, so let me see some sentences that you were able to create using the information you just heard in the message, okay? I said a lot of things there. There were a lot of things in that message. And, it's best that you summarize everything, but it's impossible. So try to make it 2 or 3 sentences long, talking about, what the caller was saying in the message, okay? And please, everybody, remember, you do not have to remember the caller's name. The caller's name was Jenny Sheldon, but that is the last information you want to remember. That is so not important. You do not have to remember her name, and you don't have to remember her phone number. That is so unnecessary. You have to remember like who she is, like where she is working, what kind of work she's doing, or what is she in charge of. Those kind of information. That's what's important, and what the problem is, and what kind of situation she is facing. That kind of information, okay? I got it, but I have no idea how to solve. Yeah, well, we're gonna get to the solution later on, but first, let's summarize. Let's summarize the message, okay? Solution is a later problem. First, you have to summarize. You have to summarize the message, okay? Now here it says respond as if you are the director. The person called the director. So you guys are the director. And we're doing part 5. I want to show this picture on this top here so everybody can know that it's part 5. There is construction and therefore there is a lot of traffic. That is so true. So construction was one of the words that you were able to hear, and a lot of traffic. Yeah, traffic, that word also appeared in the message. So you got those 2 words. Great job, Slee. So there is a construction right now to improve the streets, improve the roads in the city, right? Oh, Hyun, great. The problem is many people use their own cars driving, and the massive construction project have just begun. We hope everyone can use public. Oh, okay. All right. So Hyun, I think you got a little too much going on there. So the first thing, guys, in the beginning of the message, you sort of start off, like we're going to use this template, right? So in the beginning of this message, for step 2, you start by saying, I heard that you are somebody, somebody, somebody. Okay? So you would say something like, I heard that you are working at the city hall and you are in charge of the road problem, the city's construction, right? There is always a step. And there are the second step here. Of course, like first step, it's not hard to say your name, right? So the first step is done. The second step, I heard that you are somebody, somebody. I heard that you are something, something. That is a very important starter. And the problem is that there's a construction and there's a traffic problem. Okay? So make sure you develop your answer step by step. Don't go right into it because you have 1 full minute to be speaking, okay? You're not going to put all the information and just like make it into like small paragraph and just say it for 30 seconds. You're going to use up that 1 minute. You're going to use up that 60 seconds, okay? So please take note of this, template that I always tell you guys to use. Alright, 여장수님, I just received your message and I understand you are in charge of the city's construction and you are looking for a way to minimize the inconvenience during the construction. Okay. Tadashi, I understand we're having a problem that many roads are closed and the traffic is very bad due to the construction. You want more people to use public transportation, but you don't know how to do that. Good. Oh, you just paraphrased the recording. Okay, Hyun. Alright, and so I suggest that encourage people to carpool. That's good. Encourage people to carpool. Way we can reduce traffic. That's a good one. Encourage people to carpool, like share their cars. The easier way would be share the cars. Encourage people to share their cars. Okay, and the problem is that traffic jam is occurring due to the construction. Does not seem like there is a way to fix the traffic. Okay, now try to put things into the template here on next to me on the left side of the screen here. And Teiji, I think it's a good idea to use the city's website to encourage the use of public transportation, okay, during the construction period. Moreover, why don't you work? Not working, but it's got to be why don't you work? Why don't you work at night when there is less traffic. When there's less traffic. So why don't you work at night when there is less traffic? Okay, let's fix that. Will this remain in the archive? Yeah, it's gonna be remaining on the channel, so you'll be able to see it again. Don't worry, AA. Mergong, there is a problem that the construction will last for 2 more weeks. Okay, so will last for 2 more weeks. But most of the roads are closed, so there's traffic jam. There is traffic jam. So you got some parts wrong. 밀공님. Keiko, I heard that you are in charge of road constructions at City Hall. That was a good one. And you have a trouble because the construction will take more time and the traffic congestion will happen. So, okay, the traffic congestion will happen or is happening. I would say there is a heavy traffic, or you would say there is traffic congestion. There is traffic congestion everywhere. Okay? All right, so all of these ideas are great. Now it's my role to put it into 1 minute answer, right? Okay, so now this is the American English version because the message, the caller was doing the British English, so I'm gonna say it in American English, okay? The answer goes something like this. And I'm gonna make it as simple as possible so you guys can use it later. So one is encourage them to share cars, and the second one is why don't you do the construction at night or work at night? That was a very good one, Taeji. So I will call the director. No, I will call the caller. Hold on. Okay. Hi, this is Gwen, the director. I heard that you are in charge of the city's construction right now, and yeah, of course, you're also working at the City Hall. And there is a problem because the construction will last for 2 more weeks, and you want to encourage people to use the public transportation, but people are using their cars, so there's heavy traffic everywhere in the city, and you don't know what to do. So you'd like to get some help with this matter, right? Well, first of all, I'm sorry to hear about the situation. However, I'm happy to say that there's a way to help you out. And after looking into the situation, I came up with the following suggestions. Well, first of all, I think it is a good idea to encourage them to share their cars. Maybe it could be more convenient. And why don't you have the workers work at night when there's less traffic? Maybe that could be helpful for everybody. Now, these are my suggestions. And if you need more... All right, so I've been cut off in the middle of my answer. But will it matter? No, because I provided everything that is actually more important to get the good score, which is I've summarized the message already, and I provided at least one, and I actually provided 2 solutions. So I said everything. And for step 5, it says those are my suggestions. Those 3 lines, let's say, that 2 line over there on the bottom part, they're unnecessary. You don't actually have to say that to get score. Okay, I just added in there because I just wanted to make it look like a perfect message. But even if you get cut off in the end, it doesn't really matter as long as you have everything in your message. So the most important thing, 2 important things are. First, you gotta summarize the message. Hello, Tuan. And second, you gotta provide at least 1 or 2 good solutions. Okay? So today's solution was encourage them to share their cars or carpool. That could be more convenient because maybe people are not using the public transportation because it's not convenient, right? And second of all, why don't you work at night? Why don't you have people work at night? That was a very good one. All right. Eugene. Oh, returning from your director. Hi, you're working at City Hall and in charge of repaving our city's road. However, there's a problem with traffic jam because the construction duration is longer than we've accepted. Okay. Can I say traffic occurred by... Well, I would rather say there is heavy traffic due to construction. Okay, that's more natural. I would rather say there is heavy traffic due to construction. Due to construction, there is heavy traffic. Okay? Encourage them to share their cars, have the workers work at night. That's very good. Thank you, Hyun. All right, well done. Oh my gosh, now we're down to one last part. Oh, why don't you let them work at night when there is less traffic? Not where there is less traffic, when there is less traffic. That would be much better. When, okay? Because we're talking about time. We're asking them to work at night, okay? Hello, Dr. Gwen. I read your book and took TOEIC speaking test the other day, and just like everybody else, I'm a big fan of yours. Thank you very much. Oh, I wish I would know how to read your name. That's Gire. What is it? How do you read this? PD님, this Japanese. Kite? Kireden? Okay, I'm trying to read this Japanese. I wish I could call out your name, but my Japanese is short. But thank you very much for that lovely note.
Okay.
Sawa Ken. Sawa Ken. Is it right? Sunsu님, you're asking me how you should study. 유단시다네? Oh, okay. How should I study abroad? You mean in English? Like studying English abroad? You try to hang out with more like foreign people when you go abroad? Yeah, I think that's the best way. And if you're a girl, try to make a boyfriend. If you're a guy, try to make a girlfriend, and that is the quickest way. That's like the best way. You got to put yourself in a situation where you have to communicate with somebody all the time. And of course, when you go to supermarkets, you can communicate. When you go to school, you can communicate. But with your like boyfriend or girlfriends, you get to communicate all the time. I think that's the reason why you improve your English a lot. Especially when you're, dating somebody. Yeah, so dating English is like the fastest way. So do you like to get some help with this matter? Okay, Eugene, she's still talking about part 5. And I encourage you to watch lots of TV programs and try to repeat them. Don't just watch them, try to repeat what they're saying. So like English itself can get into your mouth muscle, like your tongue, mouth. It's all muscle, and there's something called muscle memory. Muscle memory. Your muscle remember things, okay? So when you use it more, it would be more comfortable to say English, okay? So practicing with your mouth, that's a helpful way. All right, so right now we're doing online live right now. This is so great. Like the technology had evolved, and we're now being able to I can communicate with you guys in Japan, in Taiwan, and in Vietnam, and everywhere around the world. But the thing is, when you're learning speaking, when you want to improve your speaking with a language, you gotta practice. You gotta use your muscle, okay? I hope I could help you more. I could, give you more tips, but actually that's actually it. You have to expose yourself in that language situation and practice more. And yeah, of course, dating English. Okay, now let's move on to the last part. Okay. Part 6. Somebody asked me about part 6, right? So I will help you with this one too. The question is, which of the following things contributes the most to your happiness? Happiness. Have a satisfying job. That's important, I'm very satisfied with my life because 2/3 of it, 80%, I say 75, 80% of my life is work, and I love teaching. So I'm really satisfied with my job. I can talk to you guys on YouTube. I can teach people in class. I can write books, make content. It's a great job. So that relates to me. The second one is exercising regularly. And I think this is also important too because I am an exercise freak. I'm a health freak, so I love exercising. I do yoga, squash, golf. I run. I ride bicycle from and to work. So exercising also is very important. And lastly, having a good relationship with friends and family. That's also important. Yeah. Like, for say, I just talked about boyfriends and girlfriends, right? Like you're going out with somebody, you're dating somebody, and you have a fight, you had an argument. You don't feel good, right? So that is also one of the elements for soul happiness. So what is going to be your choice? Which one is going to be your choice? Nowadays, I'm really into exercising, and even after the show, I'll be doing a yoga practice. So I think for me right now, exercising is very important. Satisfying, satisfactory. When you want to say it is satisfying, it is satisfying, okay? This is more like used as a adjective, all right? It is satisfying, adjective. Satisfactory, is more used, it's an adjective, but normally it's used in a compound noun, like satisfactory rate, satisfactory something, okay? So both are used as adjectives, but when you want to say it is satisfying in a normal like adjective situation, it's more used as satisfying, not satisfactory, okay? Satisfactory, always mostly used as a compound noun. Yeah, that's how I could explain it right now. Okay. All right. So tell me your choices. Tell me your choices. Having a satisfying job, exercising regularly, having a good relationship with friends and family. What are your choices? You have to think. You guys have to think a lot. All right. Think about it and let me know. Think about it and let me know. Satisfying job, exercising regularly. Satisfying job. Now, you have to think about what satisfies you when it comes to jobs. Like, is it what you do, or is it the coworkers, or is it the location of your company, or is it like your salary? There are many elements, right? And Tadashi, speaking of exercise, you might have talked about this one before I came. I saw a post on your Instagram, a video of you falling. Yes, I know that happened. That really happened in this room. Like on the door to this room, on the top part, that's where the bar is. It's right there. It's right there. And that's where I have my pull-up bar. I would do pull-ups. Well, I cannot do actual pull-ups, but I try to do pull-ups. And I hang there. I do my ab workout. And that day, I was trying to show my friends how I do it. And they happened to be filming me because they wanted to like put it in a video for a later watch. And I fell in front of them in that video. So it was like, it really, really was painful. It was so painful. I almost cried. But luckily I had this bun on back of my hair. Like my hair was like turned into bun in the back of my head. So it like acted as a cushion. But anyway, it really hurt a lot. But I survived. I didn't break any bones. So later, it was actually like 2 weeks ago. After some time, I looked at it and it was so funny. So I decided to share it on my Instagram. So for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, go to my Instagram. What is that? My Instagram. I don't even know. Okay, so my Instagram. Okay, it's dailydose_Gwen. It's this. dailydose_Gwen. And when you go there, click on this picture. Okay, this picture here. And you look at that video. Next to the picture, there's a video. And it was... it's hilarious. You watch it, you get addicted to it. You get to, you get to watch it over and over again. It's so funny. Go see it. Yeah, Tadashi, I'm fine. Thank you for worrying for me. Thank you. Teiji, I think that exercising regularly is the most important thing to my happiness. I have several reasons to support my opinion. Most of all, it will relieve stress for me. That is true. That is so true. And Yeotjang-su님, working out regularly contributes the most. And I can lose weight. I have lost about 10 pounds since I work out every day. Also, I can get rid of my stress while working out. When working out, I can break a sweat and feel great. Hyun, I think exercising regularly contributes to my happiness because I think health is the most important factor. For example, I read many books about healthy people. They all encourage health, right? And Tadashi, so it wasn't your, no, it wasn't my stunt double, no. Okay, and Hyun, young generations to exercise regularly and stay healthy. When you have good health, you can make money, you can spend time with your friends and family, you can join many social activities you make, right? Many friends is you make many friends, okay? After work, exercising can help me forget what I don't like and I will recover. All right. Now, every time when I talk about part 6, now listen carefully if you want to provide a good answer. An easier way of approaching part 6 is giving an example of your personal experience, okay? So I personally have experience with all 3 of those, things. I have a satisfying job, I exercise regularly, and I have good relationship with my friends and family. So all 3 of them, I have my personal experience, and that's what I'm going to say. All right? So it is good to explain your thoughts or opinion, but it is even better if you could provide an example to it, okay? So I'm going to start with the first one, having a satisfying job. Okay, so listen carefully, everybody. I think having a satisfying job contributes the most to my happiness. There are several reasons to support my opinion, and most of all, I think it is very helpful for my happiness. For example, I'm a teacher, and actually I'm an English teacher, and I teach many kinds of students. I teach, office workers, I teach college students, I have big classes, I have small classes, I have online classes, and sometimes I even teach on YouTube. And whenever I teach my students, I am so happy. I'm very happy that I could help them, and I'm very happy that I can really communicate with others. I can talk to others and listen to their problems and help them out. It's very meaningful, and it's a very unique experience. It's a great experience. That's why my job always makes me so happy, and that's why I think so. All right, so in this answer, I provided my own experience of teaching as a teacher, teaching English and helping people, and how it makes me happy. That's the most important thing. And that's how I put my first answer. Now, the second answer, so everybody, a lot of you said exercising regularly. So what is your own example? I would like to hear some of your examples before I share my answer, okay? Now you got the idea of using an example. So show me your examples. Hyun, what kind of exercise do you do to make yourself happy? Who was it? Teji, what kind of exercise do you do? Okay, don't say you exercise, I forget about my work and I can recover. Tell me about your exercising activities, okay? You gotta share actual examples, like why it makes you feel good. Somebody said it, you you sweat so hard, and that's when you feel so good. And when you feel healthier, or when you lose weight, that's when you become happier. Give us your own personal experience, and that's all that matters. Remember, guys, even on this, YouTube world, you guys like to follow people who have unique experience, right? Experience is what matters. You got to talk about your experience for that question. Okay? So a lot of you said exercising, so I would like to hear your personal exercising experience. Let me know some experiences. And lastly, having a good relationship with friends and family. I have a very good, for example, a lot of you might know I have a friend living in Jeju, and I'm really close with her. So I would visit Jeju, not now, but I used to visit Jeju at least once a month. And she's married and she has a family. but I would go there. I would spend like 2-3 days there, and I would play with her kids, and I would buy presents for them. And because they are in Jeju, I can go to Jeju like almost for free. All I have to do is pay for my flights. So it's become a very good like relationship, and they're like almost my family. They're my family to me. So like that, I feel very happy that I have good friends around me, and even my family members. That is my example for that answer. Guys, are you concentrating? I'd like to know what kind of exercise you guys do before I give you my answer. Eugene said having a good relationship with friends and family contributes the most. That's true. And then you give your own experience, Eugene, okay? You have to give your own experience. First of all, people are social animal. If you don't have good relationship with coworker, my life isn't happy, although my salary I'm working is satisfying. Okay. Now, this is an explanatory answer. You shouldn't be just explaining something. Give us your example, like your experience. Okay? Your personal experience is the most powerful weapon to persuade somebody. And that is your sole opinion. Okay? Hyun, I like to go for a walk alone. I get up early in the morning and start the day by going for a walk in my neighborhood. It helps me get some fresh air and get more energy. Okay? In the beginning of that part, Hyun, I would say I exercise every day. I exercise every day, and I like to go for a walk alone. Okay? And everything is perfect. And in the end, you said it makes me feel so good. Okay? It makes me feel happy, if you want to relate to the question, right? It makes me feel happy. It helps me relieve stress, right? Okay? All right. And Slee, the one that contributes most to my happiness would have to be having a satisfying job, even though I don't have the job yet. I want to be a TEFL teacher. It makes me feel wholesome to help students. Okay. That is quite short. That cannot be a 1-minute answer, Slee. It's gotta be a little bit longer. I'm doing kickboxing. Oh, that is so good. All right. So, Taeji, if you want to use kickboxing as a part of your answer, you would say in the beginning, oh, I work, and at work, I get lots of stress. I have to deal with this. I have to deal with clients. I have to talk to the manager, blah, blah, blah. It's stressful. But after work, I go to the gym and I do kickboxing, and whenever I hit the punching bag, I can relieve stress, and I feel energetic, and I become happier. And that is why I think exercising regularly contributes the most to my happiness. And that's how you put it. Good. See, by saying kickboxing, you get more things in your answer. Eugene, when I'm having argue with my mom in the morning, I can't concentrate on anything that day. Oh, so that's why I think so. Eugene, that was very good. You're now finally providing a part of your answer with an example. I mean, everybody can relate to what you just said. When I have an argument, when I argue with my mom, in the morning, I don't feel good, right? I know, I've done that before, and I can't concentrate on anything that day. So that's why I think so. Okay, Slee, I got it. You can only write 200 words. Okay, so this is going to be my last answer. I'm going to choose exercising regularly this time. So guys, listen carefully. Exercising regularly contributes the most to my happiness, and there are several reasons to support my opinion. Well, most of all, it is very important for me. For example, I'm a health freak and I love to exercise. So I work maybe 12 hours a day, and it's quite stressful, although I love my job, and it takes a lot of energy. That's why I think I'm very stressed out at the end of the day. But when I come back home, I like to do yoga, or sometimes I go downstairs to the gym and I exercise at least like 5 times a week. And when I exercise and when I use up my energy to lift weight, I feel better. I feel more energetic. I get to relieve stress, and that is how I feel happy. And obviously exercising really makes me happier. And that is why I think so. Okay? And in my answer, I said, although I love my job, because I do love my job, but I just wanted to say, like, above job satisfactory, exercising is more important. Okay, so I want to find materials about TOEIC writing on your YouTube channel, but I can't. Could you recommend me where I can find more about the exam questions and sample of writing? I really don't have much information right now about TOEIC writing. But TOEIC writing, those 3 parts are very similar to TOEIC speaking. Like, TOEIC writing part 1 is actually TOEIC speaking, the picture part 2. So as long as you know how to write, how to write correct sentences for part 2 pictures, you can use that for part 1 of TOEIC writing. And then part 3 of TOEIC writing is giving an opinion, which is the part 6 that we're just doing right now. So in Korea, there are some books available, but actually I don't know the sites. That was on our agenda, actually. We're going to be working on TOEIC writing material, but right now, I'm sorry, I can't help you out with that. Hyun, can you go over having a good relationship with friends and family? Sure. Let me do that one too. Okay. 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 I have a timer here. So I'm going to go with the last one, what Hyun requested. Having a good relationship with friends and family contributes the most to my happiness, and there are several reasons to support my opinion. And most of all, it is very important to me to have good relationship. For example, a week ago, I fought with my best friend, Tom. He wanted to see a movie, but I wasn't available. I was so busy. I had to work, and also I had to get ready for a test. So I wasn't able to go to the movies with him. And he got so upset, and he was so sad. And we, had a little argument, and I didn't feel good after that. So I wasn't able to focus on my work, and I wasn't able to focus on my studies. I felt so bad. I felt so sad that we had to fight. So that's why I definitely think that it is very important to have a good relationship with other people. And that makes me really happy. Okay? So it's something similar to what Eugene just said. She says, when she argues with her mom, she doesn't feel good, right? Which is true for everybody. But I give it a little twist by saying when I had a friend, Tom, and I argued with him, I had an argument, I fought with him, I didn't feel good. So I wasn't able to focus. And that's why I think so. Yes. Okay. Great. All right, so we've covered up one test set of TOEIC speaking. Wow, that was the first live show of 2021, and I've been releasing some videos, something different from just TOEIC speaking materials on YouTube, and I hope you guys like it. I talked about my 2020, and I talked about some of my goals in 2021, so if you hadn't watched them, go check them out. And we're going to be uploading some more videos, and soon we are trying to upload a travel vlog that I took some videos of when I visited Taiwan last year, in January last year. So it's been almost a year now. But anyway, I hope that was helpful. Tonight's show was helpful for you guys. Guys, go over all the things that we talked about. I'm pretty sure it would help you out a lot on tomorrow's test or this weekend's test. And Sunsunim, I will try to make videos on how to be helpful when you are studying abroad, okay? Good luck with your stay in a foreign country. And Hyun, thank you for your lecture. Good night. Yes, everybody, thank you for visiting the show. It was lovely to see you tonight. Yeah, it's Friday night, but we have nothing to do these days. So it's very lovely and nice to spend time with you guys. And in February, the show will be on the 26th. 26th, okay? Not on the 19th. Remember that. It's going to be on the 26th. All right. So then, until then, take care. Be healthy. cover yourself with a mask. Always wear a mask outside, and I will see you next month. Until then, bye. Take care.